everyone. I am Abhishek Rai, a resident of the city of Joy, Kolkata. All of us are going through a really tough phase of life right now. The virus out there has ensured that we stay indoors, restricted gatherings and whatnot. There is quite some pressure building up right here, and so that is the result of the sedentary lifestyle all of us are into right now. So I thought I should come up and share something with you, something which I feel needs attention, and I believe most of us are on the same page. Mental health, a parameter which has suddenly gained importance after the tragic case of Sushant Singh Rajput. Friends, trust me, there is food for thought. Being a die-hard cricket fan, I will share you my experience, my journey from being a victim to the causative factors of depression to working on yourself and coming out of it. So, this is for those friends who are currently battling this condition and those who find that it is difficult to live each day fighting this invisible enemy. With those friends, please hear me out. I want you to know that no matter where you are in life, no matter how low you've sunk, no matter how bleak your situation is, this is not the end. This is not the end of your story, because your life story is going to be a bestseller. This is surely not the final chapter of your life. I know it might be hard at the outset to be you at this point in time, but friend, trust me and hang in there. What you're witnessing on your screens are those events in which I was in your shoes. If you are committed to use this pain to build your character, you shall discover that you grew in many dimensions of life. Always remember that every setback is a setup for a comeback. It's especially crucial to know how depression triggers itself in cases of suicide. It might be that feeling when you are lying on bed and you realize that all you have is a distorted perception of reality. You see life as an illusion. You fail to recollect the last moment when you were genuinely happy and not imitating the beast. At this juncture, the wish to live in this illusionary mirage-like world fades away. There's too much clutter in the brain to deal with. Negative thoughts takes the steering wheel and drives you down a pitch dark tunnel. As we talk right now, the world is plagued not just by a pandemic, but a fatal wave of mental health crisis. Rather than joining this queue of depression, it is needed that we learn why we get down and how we can change it. We create our negative feelings and they get fueled by the persistent thoughts and notions we hold. Depression sets in as there is bound to be an external stimulus that did not materialize in our life, and sadly, in 80% cases, we don't even have control over it. From my personal experience, I am of the opinion that please follow the 5x5 rule. If something doesn't matter to you in the next 5 years, don't spend even 5 minutes of your priceless time thinking about it. When in school, we run blindfolded on how to get into a good university, and then it's followed by the throat cut competition to secure a white collar job. I doubt how far it takes you, because no one, not a single textbook teaches you how to be happy. Having studied psychology for 2 years in school, I can gauge the importance of the conscious and the subconscious thoughts and the associations they generate. When the disturbing event keeps playing on loop in your conscious mind, it gets incorporated in your subconscious chamber. It then starts to haunt you. Is our happiness not worth more than a job? Yes, it is. And before you say that happiness won't pay my bills, let me say that it will. When you realize this, you shall be 10 times more energized to make the odds work in your favor. It is then when you start to work on yourself to aim for that perfection. Let us analyze what went wrong in Sushant's case. Here is a monologue with the house he inhabited just a month ago. Viewers, feel the connect as I converse. How are you doing, Sushant's grieving house? I know you've been through a lot this afternoon. Well, did you know that such a tragic incident would happen today? Just look at your state now, closed and shut, just the way your master was. You've seen that depression come in every night. The depression was right in between your walls. Still, you failed to recognize it. Well, you saw your master come in every night depressed. You've seen him cry out of his wits. You've seen his head sink into his knees, a posture he did not move from hours altogether. Well, you all knew this, mate. You knew this all. But still, you failed to say it to anyone. Oh, I forgot. The walls can only see and hear, but they cannot speak. Well, I forgot. You have got the sin of mutism. Well, is your master's food still covered with a plate on the dining table? Or is it the case that no one even switched on the lights of the dining hall? All you did was an endless wait for your master to come and eat, but little did you realize why he failed to be on time every single night. All you could hear was the sound of running tap water from the washroom, but what you missed was the fountain of his tears. Today, the living room shall do time travel, right? Let it do so. Well, I see that guitar across the living room. Your master used to play those strings at odd hours, tring, tring. No. Let it accumulate dust. But remember the rhythm of desolation it once generated. This yellow-colored study table, well, it has witnessed all those dark moments when your master used to come and write on papers with blue fountain ink and then suddenly tore those tear-blotted papers violently. Why did he used to do so? Well, if you could hear and if you could listen to what he meant or what he felt like, you could have helped him. Oh, I forgot. Your curse of mutism. Well, it did not matter to 1, 2, 3, but lakhs of people across this entire country. The 52-inch TV is still there in the living room, but there is no one to understand your master. The agony behind that infectious smile still remains to be an untold story. Well, I need you to know this, mate, that your master desperately wanted to live. There is not much difference between you and the author of the book, How I Survived Clinical Depression. Yes, my friend, your master kept reading and fighting this condition, but little did you or the author try to realize if he was getting on really well. Oh, I forgot. The author could have, but you couldn't, because you have the curse of mutism. Finally, let's come to the last asset of your master, the MEAD E600 telescope. Will it stargaze and continue its quest to search for galaxies and the origin behind it? Well, the load of thoughts that your master had in here was so much that the entire earth couldn't have sufficed to take that weight. I hope he's found himself peace up there. Well, friends, I hope you understood my analogy of this house to the shallow human beings that all of us have become. All we do, all we attempt is to pull the other person down to a deep void of self-doubt from which recovery seems to be impossible. I have seen people live each moment believing that they are unworthy, and the first step would be to eradicate this thought. So many people in the world right now wish that they could trade places with you. Just take a walk in a hospital corridor. There are so many different people, varied age groups, different ethnicities, but one thing is in common. All the individuals are fighting to live. Just walk down your neighborhood. You shall find many homeless people, not having food to eat, barely even have clothes on. Friends, realize that you are far better off than many. If you have a cardiac issue, everybody inquires about your health because they see a hope of recovery. Ironically, when it comes to the most complex organ, no one utters a word. When you go through a dark phase, the world dumps you because you don't add on to their productivity. Hold on, do you realize that these are the times when you weave magic internally, producing novel ideas, strengths, and insights? The same life challenges shall show up, but you shall have a positive reaction to the force that is dragging you down. Stop saying, why is this happening to me, and start thinking, how can I make this work? Others shall then look up to you, not with pity but with hope, because your strength shall radiate as their hope. Ditch this victim story and get the mind in a positive space. Challenge that invisible enemy in your mind. Successful people do not stop at 1, 100 or 1000 failures. Well, they do not even keep a count because there is no stopping until the goal is a reality. When you fail, adaptation starts. Oscar Wilde once said, to live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people just exist. One day it's all going to get over. In our last breaths, we should wonder if this life meant anything to this world. Did we really matter? At that moment, we won't be worried about our bills, our hair, certainly not our favorite TV show. It is not the time to give up this soon, but to bounce back harder. There will be 2 dates on either side of that dash, the dash that separates the dates of your birth and death. Make sure that dash is full of life. Even if you don't make it big, you'll live with pride and not with regret. Don't try to cut your life short because all we get is this one shot. Keep your head when everybody is losing theirs. Trust yourself when the entire world is doubting your skill set. Master your dreams when everyone is giving up. Be the lion when everybody is playing the sheep. Be the captain when everyone is satisfied being the crew. And finally, be the leader when everybody is just happy being a follower. The man I am right now as I speak, with as much authenticity and conviction, is the result of my times in the valley of darkness. If you face a challenge, do not give up. Accept the challenge and chalk out a plan to work on it. You need to realize this, that you need to step out of your comfort zone to fuel the hunger which is needed to succeed. Always remember and dare yourself to be the best masterpiece that the world is yet to witness. Be the change that inspires others in a way that they say, he did it, she did it, I can do it too. Always be receptive of people problems around you, and you'll realize that you can help in any small way that is possible. Friends, remember that this friend of yours is just a call away. All you need to remember is that you need to leave your legacy. You shall find light at the end of the tunnel.